All right, hello. Hello, Kai, Prima, Dasp. How are you guys doing? Um, yeah. Hopefully you can hear me just fine. Everything looks good on my end. Um, and the one thing is that for some reason I'm having trouble getting my background, my usual background music on. So I guess we're gonna do this without background music today. Hello, Didac. So Hawlucha is who we're redesigning today. And oh, hang on, I forgot one more thing. I forgot to bring up the chat on my phone so that I can see it even when I'm not actually looking in OBS. So just a moment. Very exciting footage for you. There you go. All right. We're on now. Okay, good. Sounds good. First Pokemon that I disagree needs a redesign. Well, so the thing is that with Hawlucha and also with the redesign that we're going to do next month, which is um, Type Null and Silvally, I actually like these Pokemon. The thing is that I feel like their execution could be tweaked a little bit uh, in order to make them really special. So for Hawlucha, I think the main thing is that to me it just looks like a person in a bird suit, uh, and I really just don't like when Pokemon are so humanoid. I I don't like when uh, like I get some humanoid Pokemon, but I prefer it when they have something that makes it obvious that they're not a human, besides like just number of fingers, which I think in Hawlucha's case is what it is. So Hawlucha has 3 fingers instead of 5, and that's really the only difference because its face is behind a mask. It's just like it's got proper like almost human anatomy, and so that I just don't like that, and I think it could be done better. Dasp hasn't been on a redesign stream in months. That's true. But it's been nice to see you around again recently here and on the Discord. Is it a person in a bird suit or a bird in a person costume? Yeah. So that's really it. I just think that the anatomy can be tweaked a little bit to make it more like a bird who is a luchador rather than a luchador that uses a bird themed costume. That's it. So I have some, I think, good ideas of how to change the anatomy in order to make it better. To the point that this is actually the first time I'm doing a redesign where I have no sketches. I just have it in my head, and I hope that it works out. But yeah, if everything goes well, this will be a quick stream, but we'll see. The 3 fingers kind of make it appear more like a pterosaur to me since they have 3 and birds have none. Uh, yeah, I can see that. Although it has feathers, and as far as I remember, pterosaurs did not have feathers. I think they were just the membrane. Um, and so I can see like having claws there, making it less bird-like. But I mean, I guess having claws there is better than it just having fingers, because if it just had fingers, then that would really just be a person in a bird costume. When you lift an owl's down, you can see that it's mostly just legs. Maybe that could be a helpful feature here. Yeah, and I've drawn some imaginary creatures that were birds, but where I changed just like the way that they place their leg a little bit to make them look longer and a little bit more humanoid. So that might be part of it here too. So, but I think that the changes or where I want to change, it's in the wings, because I really don't like Hawlucha's wings where the feathers just like straight down. I know that when it flies, at least in the anime, I'm not sure that it does the same thing in the games, but when it flies, the like tips of the feathers go outward, and that does look a little bit more bird-like, but I think it can be better than that. So it's the wings, it's the legs, and it's the face. The legs basically just like the knees are too humanoid, the way that the legs fold, and the beak I think could be more of a proper beak rather than just like. But I think I'll try all of those elements individually, and then we'll see which ones work and which ones are better off just staying with the original Hawlucha. And the other thing that I want to try is, even though I like Hawlucha's colors because, red, white, green, very Mexican, I don't think that it's based on any particular bird. And so I want to try changing the patterns just a little bit with the same colors, but change the patterns to make it more like a specific bird. And the one that I'm thinking is a caracara, which is a raptor kind of bird that exists in basically all throughout South America and up through Mexico. So seems appropriate. I have a strange relationship with Hawlucha. I used to totally hate it, and then I got random encounter shiny in X and Y, so I forced myself to like it, and actually grew on me so much. Fair. Yeah, shinies have that effect. They have feathers too, but it's definitely more so intended to be a bird. Yeah. Okay. I didn't realize that pterosaurs also had feathers. Became Premier Ball tier patron today. I saw it just before we started. Thank you so much, Jasp. I'd look forward to doing whatever pixel art you're gonna have me do next month. But yeah, so tomorrow is the very last day to sign up to my Patreon and be able to get a piece of pixel art that you get to commission, and that applies to all patron levels. So I really appreciate it that if you can help, and if you can stay on long term, like obviously that is better. But if you can't and you just want to commission a piece of pixel art, you can just become a patron for just the 1 month and quit after that. Like that's okay. That is totally allowed. Obviously, if the longer you can stick around, the better. But either way, I really appreciate it. So maybe make the beak more than face mask. Yes, absolutely. Since Hawlucha is based on Aztec eagle warriors, are you intending to use that as inspiration too, and perhaps some different coloring in the genders like birds of paradise? I don't think eagles have, or any birds of prey, I think. I can't think of any birds of prey that have really significant differences between the genders, so I wasn't really planning on doing that. The Aztec warriors, I don't think that element really comes through. Like it's, I can see it like as being part of the inspiration, but not necessarily as part of like it as part of the inspiration in the sense of that's why they made a bird luchador. But I don't see it as actually coming through in the design. It's gonna stay a bird luchador, so that's gonna be there. I don't think I'm gonna add too much to make it more like specifically Aztec. But if you have like specific ideas of what could be added to accomplish that, let me know, and maybe we'll try it. Why do you think Hawlucha is from Kalos and not from a future? I have no idea. I haven't so far found any connection between Hawlucha and France specifically, or like any reason for it to be that. But like it hasn't all like in Galar they are all like very specific, like very British Pokemon. But besides that, they've always like gone. Kind of worldwide within their inspirations, even if the local inspirations are a little bit more of their focus. Pokemon don't respect the fauna of the real region. Yes, that's definitely part of it. I was actually meaning to do it a week ago, but I kept forgetting, and then I got the stream notification. Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'm glad that served as a reminder. I just ordered a different like phone stand. Well, I actually don't have a phone stand, so I just ordered a phone stand that'll help me be able to see the chat a little bit more easily. But for now, I'm gonna have to keep doing this every once in a while. But let's get started. I think the first thing I'm gonna do is just kind of do a skeleton of Hawlucha just to get the proportions and that kind of thing, and then I'll sketch on top of that what I envision for it. The skeleton is always very helpful to make sure that. Oh God, okay. No, okay, we're good now. I've been having trouble with my keyboard, except it's not actually the keyboard itself. Like, it's not the hardware, and it's not the computer hardware either. It's some software that's intervening, creating some interference with my keyboard that it occasionally thinks that the Shift, Control, or Alt keys are pressed when I'm not pressing them, and it turns on and off by itself without me touching it, and it's very annoying. I'm hoping we won't have too much of a problem with that today, but we'll see. Oh, whoops. Not. I was gonna put like, the lines that signify the middle of the face and where the eyes belong, but like the middle of the face is just like here. That's not going to be really helpful. And I guess here, really not going to be very helpful. I really wish I had the music on, but I don't. I tried to log in to my usual music stuff, my usual music like library, and Google didn't let me for some reason. So unfortunately, I don't have a backup. I wasn't expecting that. I guess I'll just have to talk even more, which is probably not a good thing. I'm not the best talker in the world. At least not for like improvising, I guess. I do okay when I'm when I'm scripted, or when I'm having a conversation. I do okay, but like it's me just talking to myself. Oh God, I feel bad for you guys. I wouldn't want to just listen to myself talk. All right, I'm just gonna put some of the details on it so that I have a better idea of like where the eye, the mouth, that kind of thing, where they all go. I like this very much, the feathers on the back that make it look like where the mask would be tied. I like that very much. I think that's like good use of it. A good way to do the bird / luchador part. All right. Oh, hey, Julie. Welcome. I don't know. I don't know if you've been to one of these kinds of streams before. Have you? I know you've been to other streams of mine, and obviously, this is Chiro Cairo is Julie from who's been on the New and 51 stream chats recently. What is going on with you? Can you see her? Can you see my cat? Oh, she's like just barely off screen. What are you playing with? Just, oh, I think these are some fibers from her cat tree. Normally I would let you play with this, but you're being distracting. Now you have to come be part of the stream. Say hello, Saucepan. Okay. There you go. Saucepan doesn't like to be held. Actually, neither does Rogue, who is this one. But yes, I have two of them. Two different cats. I'd really enjoy a future Hawlucha regional variant. And in there it is. There was a new message, and then I just like completely lost of where I was looking. I'd actually really enjoy a future Hawlucha regional variant. It could be based on like Zoro or something. Zoro, we do already have Zoro in Roserade. At least I always saw Roserade as a Zoro Pokemon, but I wouldn't be against more Zoro Pokemon. All right, so in terms of editing the anatomy, let's do the wing first. So one thing I want to do is, uh-oh. Okay, we might have technological problems, but we'll see. Well, I'll keep trying, but it's just, yeah. So I want the wings to be up a little bit more. You can see this, right? You can see how I'm just clicking and it's going all over the place. I'm clicking once and it just goes everywhere. I hope I can make this work. This is very, very annoying. And this is the kind of problem that like restarting my computer and such doesn't seem to fix. Yeah, so I want the arms a little bit more up. And I think I'll probably change like the actual position of the hands. Here, I'll just do that now. Instead of having one of the fingers point downward. I think it'll be more like this, and I might even change the number of fingers, but let's keep it at 3 for now. I want the hands to be more upward so that there is space to put the what in a bat or in a pterodactyl would be like the pinky stretching all the way out, right? So let's do it something like yeah, I just want some like proper like flight style feathers. I don't know exactly what they will look like yet, but something like that, so that it has more of a proper wing. I might make it more pointy, maybe less pointy, I don't know. Mainly logistical technical difficulties. Yep, that's really all you missed, the low two. Okay, so yeah, so I think like that already makes it just changing the wing to actually look more like proper bird wings. I think that already makes a big difference. And that's probably like the one thing that I will definitely do to it. The other things, the changes to the legs and to and to the patterning and to the shape of the head, less important. This this change to the wing is to me the most important one. But let's see if I can get the legs to more or less be what I want them to be. Okay. I should really like get into more of a habit of naming my layers as I go, but I always just end up having to go back and do it. I really need to get that music. uh, I just really don't like the silence, and it's my own fault. Reminds me of the bird enemies from Kirby. I don't know enough about Kirby, so I don't know what those look like. But yeah, uh, as long as that's a good thing. What if it had a neck so it can look more intimidating and tall? I think I actually like it without the neck. In part because I think it makes it look more bird-like. I think if it had like, I guess it could just be like a taller thing, not without it actually like going inwards. Um, but no, I like it. I like that it's actually short and stocky because that is more efficient for wrestling, right? For wrestling, you want your center of gravity to be low because that makes you harder to topple. So if you're not like if you're too tall, that's worse for wrestling. So the legs, right? I'm going to make these just very barely there because I think they might need to be in a different position to really work the way I want them to. Um, so because the way birds normally stand, right? Their leg is still attached down here. All right, here I'll do it. I'll do it separately so that it's easier to see what I'm talking about. Because if you have a bird, generic looking bird, and it has its legs down here, right? But actually, like, it still has all the proper anatomy that, all other vertebrates have. So it has its hip down here, and its leg is actually attached down here. It goes up. Its knee is up like by its chest, and then it goes down, and then this is like its heel and its toes. So like it ends up making it so that it looks like, depending on how the bird stands, it makes it look like its knee is backward because it's actually like this, right? Because this is actually its uh, the wrist of the foot, the ankle. And so for Hawlucha here, the leg is still going to be down here, but I'm wondering if it should be more like this with the knees being backwards. Now that particular execution I don't quite like, but yeah, something like, you wouldn't see the part that goes the knee, but or not necessarily, you wouldn't necessarily see the knee, but yeah, okay, this is like, this particular execution isn't quite working, and maybe the backwards leg won't work at all, but yeah, maybe not. Or maybe I'll just keep the knees pointing downward, but change it so that it more obviously has that extra piece to it. Yeah, maybe. What do you guys think? I'll let you tell me what you think while I try to get the music on again. I really don't know why it didn't let me log in, but it's too weird. All right. What station are we on? Oh, okay, that's fine. Let me know if the music is too loud or anything like that. I'm glad I got it. I had to trick it. I had to tell it that I was using Twitch instead of YouTube. Don't tell anyone. Okay, you guys like the bird-like legs. Okay. I'll keep playing with the specific position of it. Yeah, that. I think part of the problem with doing the bird legs the way that I'm trying to do them, I think it's maybe because it has its chest forward, and so it like to kind of match the human anatomy that you expect in a position like that, where it's like jumping chest first sort of thing. The legs would have to be backward, and that's like a pretty iconic like wrestler move, right? You jump like that, like so. So that might be a part of the problem, because if I had it with the back kind of arched the other way, it would make more sense for the legs to be forward. And I could do that, but I don't know if I want to go that far from the wrestler look. Maybe it would look good if you styled his legs the way that eagle and other birds of prey look when they swoop in with their talons outstretched. Yeah, that's sort of what I'm thinking with some of these, for example. And that's one of the times that you get to see that the legs of birds are actually much longer. It's when they like stretch down. But yeah, that just might be difficult to show with with this position. Yeah, maybe this works. I just need to like get the proper foreshortened look for like figure out exactly what position these legs would be in. Anatomically, I think it works. Oh, maybe I'll make it, rather than like a jumping forward, maybe more like a knee kind of attack. So that this leg might be more stretched out. And then this one can be more up. That works. Works for me, anyway. Are you going to give thin legs or more like the original thickness? I'm thinking more like the original thickness, yeah. I don't want it to be too bird-like. It still has to be Hawlucha, right? You can make it look like it's leaping like at prey if you want. Maybe if you edited his body to make him look taller, the legs might work. I don't think it's so much the problem of like the size of the body. I think it's just the position. I think that's the bigger problem, but I'm happy with that. I mean, you can tell me whether you like it or not, but yeah, so the other thing, I wanted to give it more of a proper beak, and this is probably the part that I'm like the most unsure about, if it'll really look good, but the beak itself is probably too big, but yeah. Just, maybe it just needs to be very slight just to make it show more beak. Because the thing is that, as it is, I feel like it just looks kind of like a mask. And I just want to make it more like a proper beak. But yeah, maybe this won't work. Yeah, maybe with, like, I think with the face, it's going too far into bird, and, like, maybe if the legs, maybe if I go back on the legs, not that one, yeah. Like, maybe that works, or that works. Like, maybe it's one or the other. Or even thinking of making its arms and legs a bit more muscular. I think the legs are fine as it is, and actually so are the wings. Yeah, maybe the wings could be like slightly more muscular, but mostly I just want them to look more like wings. Have it styled as it is in the middle of an elbow drop move. Maybe I should have studied more wrestling and just like luchador wrestling, lucha libre. Maybe I should have studied more of that, because I just don't know very much about that at all. I know, I guess, the like stereotypical sort of look to it. The beak is a nose thing with designs always bothers me personally. It's both a nose and a mouth. Yes, it is both the nose and the mouth. Would eyebrow feathers help get away from the mask look? Something to make the eyes look less like they're buried under something that's been wrapped on top of its head. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I just need to actually change the style of the eye. Like, keep the shape of the face, but I don't know about eyebrows, but like it does have that black part, and maybe that black part isn't necessary. Maybe if I just change the like design around the eye, that'll help make it look less like a mask. Lucha Libris, yeah. All right, I think I'll just go with this then. And I'm going to try to figure out a pattern of some kind that can better represent the caracara that I want. So I'll go ahead and delete all these other versions of legs. And I'll try to give it just a more like proper body outline here. Oh, I didn't draw a tail on it. I think I'm gonna draw everything else first. I'll figure out the tail in a moment, but I think I want a proper like bird tail to it. And I guess I'll keep the kind of groin feathers. I don't really have an opinion about that. Do you guys have an opinion about the groin feathers? I know some people don't like are kind of weird ways to cover up the groin area of Pokemon, and sometimes I agree, but in this particular case I don't really have much of an opinion on it. What about kind of mohawk-like feathers on top? Get it, mohawk. I get it, but like I said, I think I want to make it more like a caracara, which I guess I can bring in a reference image for that. I'll just have to find one on Flickr. I'm sure I can find something. And like I guess it kind of has a little bit of mohawk. Just make sure I'm getting commercial use allowed. This is a good one. All right, so this image is by Andy Morphew. So this is what a caracara looks like. It's got a mostly dark body. It's kind of like a bald eagle in a way. It's like dark body, yellow legs, white, neck and part of the head, and then it has a kind of flat top. You can quite see it in this one, in this photo, but the feathers at the back of the head do kind of point out like straight backwards, at least sometimes. And then it has this, nice striking orange face and beak. So this is a bird that I like very much. We have it in Brazil as well, at least in parts of Brazil. And it exists in Mexico. So I just want to use it. I just want to use it because I like it. It's a bird I like. But yeah, so I'm thinking the pattern will, more or less reflect this. Are you going to add the leggy thing, like the feathers stop around the knee? Isn't that... Yep, that's what Hawlucha already has, so yeah, I'm just going to stick with that. I am noticing how it looks, how weird the legs look right now. Now it especially I guess because of the feathers at the groin, it really does look like someone's legs just poking out of there. I'm not sure what to do about that. Maybe just changing the groin feathers will be enough, but I'm not sure. I guess it makes more sense than a mythical dragon. Mythical dragon? Where did mythical dragon come from? Can Hawlucha be classified as a wyvern? I guess? I see what you're saying. I guess so. I guess it could. But yeah, but I think it would have to be a dragon for that. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that counts. Oh, that's too much of a butt. I'm not liking the legs anymore. Not liking the legs anymore. Dark Dragon Hawlucha. That would probably be pretty awesome, yeah. Yeah, I like the wings. I like the head, the way that's going. The legs, I'm not into anymore. Maybe I'll end up going back on the legs. What do you think? I represent Hawlucha Reputation Protection Association, and I've come to ask you to promptly seize the redesigning of this perfect Pokemon. I will not stand for these slanderous manipulations. I'm sorry, Sentient. I actually like Hawlucha, as I said at the start of the stream. I like Hawlucha. There's just some anatomical things, in particular the wings, that I don't like. But yeah, they're minor things. I do like Hawlucha. What if you make the legs skinnier? I think that might make it worse. I'll try it, but I think that might make it worse. I don't even know how that would work down here. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. But maybe I can keep it in the same position and just tweak it in different ways. I don't know. The most French Pokemon ever. Yes, absolutely. I think they need to be shorter. Yeah, you might be right. I think if you made both legs a tad shorter and pointed them forward as if they were about to snatch something, it might look good. Again, like, I don't think the anatomy is bad, but I think it works less well as a luchador, as a wrestler. What if I make it in more of a flight position? Probably shorter than this, but yeah, definitely shorter than this, but maybe. Maybe. What about a straight up legless Hawlucha? I like the chest out. Like, it looks very much like a wrestler pose, but yeah, the flight position could work. Maybe I can make it work with it like standing. that looks pretty good to me. I mean, we'll see how it looks when I actually, like, you know, flesh it out like I was doing before, because with the other set of legs, I liked it before I fleshed it out. Obviously, it's a little bit uneven, but yeah. But in terms of the position, I like it. Like a bird angrily flapping its wings to alert others. Yeah, yeah. Do I have these feet at roughly the same plane? I do, actually. Okay. Alright, I'm going to try fleshing this one out. We'll see how that looks. You should add something like a stripe to its eye. How do you mean? Like something around the eye, like the original has, or something else? Let's see if I can make the crotch feathers work this time. I think the legs might need to be a little bit thicker, but I like it. I think it's better than it was before. And the crotch feathers, I think, work just fine in this one. Okay, the stripe around the eye, I can do that. That's this layer. I think it'll, like, it might be a stripe, or like it might have a line there, but it probably won't be a different color because of the way the Carcara looks. I'll show you in a second. Because it has that thing around the eye, right? But it's part of the same color as everything else. I like that. I know how to make Hawlucha more French. Now it learns guillotine. How does it use guillotine, though? Oh, this layer has nothing on it. Okay, well. Okay, let's try a slightly meatier version of the same legs. I think that'll be it. I think that'll do it. I like it. Yeah, I like it. The one thing it needs now then is the tail. That's the other thing to figure out. I like the legs, only thought is that the ankle part should be pointed and not rounded, which is more of what I did. Do you think it needs to be more pointed? And the maybe even pointed with ruffled feathers. Move the feathers, move the division between feather and skin down to where the ankle is, I guess. How about the two-colored beak? I like the blue-orange beak on Caracara. Sorry if repeating, I don't know if you saw it. I hadn't seen it before. But yeah, so the colors that I'm envisioning is that here. I'll just do a quick so the way I'm envisioning the colors of the head is that the back of the head would be white. The tip of the beak will be gray, possibly. The face and the bottom will be orange. And of course, I might have to adjust the colors a little bit because of the because I do want to keep to the colors of the Mexican flag, mostly, like Hawlucha does. And so the top here is black or something like that. And then same down here, this whole part with adjustments to make it more Mexican flag looking. This whole part is dark. And the underwing's probably dark as well, but maybe just a different color. I'm not sure yet. So it needs something on the chest. Hawlucha has a different pattern that goes on the chest. I'm not sure what that'll be yet. We'll see. For the guillotine, it flies down with its arm stretched directly on the neck of the opponent, crossing the wings. So we are both making Pokemon out of the same bird. Yeah, I guess we are. Hawlucha uses guillotine by getting tired of paying taxes. The claws are like 2 fingers. The claws on the wings? Yes. The ones on the wings are like 2 fingers. I broke my 200th tool in New Horizons. Well, congratulations, Dasp. That's a lot. I think a vague luchador mask pattern might be good on the chest. A mask pattern on the chest. Okay, let me do the tail. Okay. I think Hawlucha's tail, if I'm not mistaken, actually I'll look it up, but I think a regular Hawlucha, it's hard to see on this, but yeah, I don't think it has a tail besides just like a continuation of where the wings go. I'm gonna double check that, but I think that's the case. You just need to see it from a different angle. Yeah, it's like its tail is just a continuation of its wings. So I think I want to give it a proper bird tail. Which probably won't be like too obviously visible in a pose like this, because the tail would just be like sticking out backwards, but like, yeah, even just something like that might be enough. Maybe something that looks a little bit more like the rest of its feathers. Yeah. Ooh, a wrestling belt. That would actually work. That would probably work pretty well to make the chest area more different. Like not an actual belt, but something that like uses that kind of pattern that Hawlucha already has, or that the original Hawlucha has on its chest, but make it a little bit lower. I think that works really well. To make its head look different to OG Hawlucha, you could have him have the same mouth and then a beak like you drew before, but it's only the beak top half. It's more like a beak hood. So the going in and out beak part would just be at the top. Maybe. I like the way it looks now, actually, though. Yeah. Did you go through existing Pokemon in search of potential leg designs to copy from yet? No, but I'm happy with this design now. Took a while to get to it, but I'm happy with the way this one looks. I think it looks both bird-like and human-like enough. Looking forward to seeing the results of this. I'm going to see what I can get for dinner. Alright, Kai. What are the bird's tails exactly? Structurally? Well, they are used to... Like, they are feathers. They're long, stiff feathers that are used to... at least for the flighted birds, they are used to steer. Oh, what was that? What was that? I don't know what that alert sound was. Maybe it was part of the music. I don't know. Yeah, so... I feel like I'm having trouble just like getting the angle right on these possible tails. Because the thing is that very little of these tails of the tail would actually be visible, I think. In this particular pose, like the tail would either be pointing straight down, maybe it could be pointing straight down, like that angle is probably decently accurate. But then it doesn't like give too much information about how exactly that tail is positioned. Or it would be pointing more like straight back, in which case you don't see almost anything. And again, you don't get too much information about what that tail really looks like. Lieber's making a Caracara wrestler making... Lieber's making a Caracara wrestler, me making a Caracara lawyer. Good to see we agree on a thematic level. You made yours a lawyer. I know that it's a Spiro, regional Spiro, but I don't remember. Like I'm pretty sure I've seen your concepts for it, but I didn't remember seeing anything about a lawyer. Maybe I just missed it. For the wings, instead of just being round, maybe they were like thin on the inside and do an inverted taper and be kind of square shaped at the end. I guess Hawlucha's feathers on the back of the head already kind of have that. But then the thing is that Hawlucha's feathers on the bottom of the wing are quite pointy, like they're rounded but pointy, right? And I think making them square might be too... like, it might conflict, right? Yeah. I think I might actually go with this tail. Like it's just the tail. It doesn't have that much, right? Just do it a little bit more cleanly. Maybe draw it in a way that shows it that it's actually one continuous thing. Good enough, I think. I'm really happy with the way this looks overall. I think I can do just one more layer of a cleaner sketch, or even not do that. Just go right on ahead and make the lines, and then just figure out the colors exactly afterwards. Yeah, no, I am going to do one more cleaner layer, but I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. Our name for the Caracara is also slang for lawyers who fake injuries and stuff like that. Oh, I didn't know that. Like in Argentina specifically, I guess. All right. So Mark, how did you incorporate the lawyer thing into the Caracara design? A lower beak might look good. Like, I'll get back to that. I'll do that. Like I'll finish the lines that I know will be there, and then we can try some other things. But yeah, feel free to put in the chat if you think that there's any like details or something like that need to be different. This is the time to change them, so. I want to start making Pokemon for a region based on Romania. I actually know very little about Romania's like wildlife and stuff. So, what do you have there? What's in Romania that would make cool Pokemon? I would very much like to see a region based on Brazil, obviously. But at the same time, like, I feel like they would do it in a way that I wouldn't be happy. Africa would make a dope region. Well, I mean, yes, but you have to be more specific than that. There are many different countries in Africa that would all make very, very different and unique and interesting regions. Like an Egypt region would be nothing like a South Africa region or like a Kenya region or something, right? And I certainly wouldn't want a single region to try to encompass an entire continent. It's bad enough when they make a single region to encompass an entire country. Because Japan has 4 regions, and it doesn't even cover the entire country. So, like, I kind of get it that they wouldn't know as much about the other countries that they're making regions based on. But it's a bit of a shame that you know, you can fit more than 4 regions in Japan, but France gets reduced to I'll say a little bit more than 1, because there are parts of France that aren't included in Kalos, but still. Just want to make these a little bit more shaped. Make their shape a little bit more intentional, I guess. That looks a little better. Double 2 says we have sheep, goats, bears, lynxes, and many more. I guess you'd have like the things that I know exist in like Northern Europe, that kind of thing, right? Or like, yeah, Northern Europe kind of, or going into like Russia. That's the kind of fauna that it would be. Is there a lot of like mountains and such in Romania? Maybe they do like they did the US by parts. I mean, if they did that for Brazil, that would be correct. I'd really like a Netherlands one. I do live here and it's very small. But hey, it might be cool. Ponds and windmills. Absolutely. Netherlands region would be great. Same with Argentina. I imagine they would put tango everywhere when it's a Buenos Aires thing only. Earth would be an interesting region. Do you guys know about the Africa is a country trope? Yeah, I mean, I guess. Just judging by what you're calling it. You know, people referring to Africa as if it's a country, as if it's a very kind of uniform, very homogenous place, when it obviously isn't, because it's an entire continent. Egypt is cool, I imagine. Pokemon based on Anubis and the pyramids. Well, we do already have Pokemon based on Anubis. We have Lucario. A region based on an Arab country like Egypt, Saudi Arabia, or Iraq would be cool. Egypt would be cool because of the Nile River, and then they could add cold mountains. Yeah. I don't understand their need to just like make every region have every biome. It's just weird and unnecessary. I don't know why they do that. The problem with Egypt is that it's overdone by the fandom. Not that it's a bad thing, but Game Freak tries to avoid having similar ideas to the fandom. Like, it isn't even official, and I'm already tired of all the Anubis regional real forms. Romania is split by the Carpathian Mountains. Alright. Sadly, they will probably have issues if they took an Islamic country. Game Freak is an international company. They won't take places with controversial issues like political stuff. That is probably true. I think that it's not so much like, oh, it's a country with controversial political stuff. I think that it's more of a problem that they wouldn't do justice to that place, that they would like treat it too stereotypically, which I think has been a problem before, but it's yeah, just like not sensitive to the local issues, I guess. And then that, you know, that can be a problem. And that can create bigger problems for them. All right, this is looking pretty good. I put the like inner feathers basically like on top of the outer feathers, but I think, yeah, I think the opposite. I was fixing the wrong one. But I think the opposite is more correct. Yeah, that looks more natural to me. I'm really happy with that. I'd really like a Pokemon game set in the past. That would be really cool. I really hope that they do more, like, more different things. Yeah, just more variety in the kinds of games that they make. Have you played the Metroid Prime trilogy? I loved how the first two games handled biomes. I played... The only Metroid game I played is the demo that came with my DS, my original DS, which I think was the original Metroid Prime. I could be mistaken, but I think it was Metroid Prime. And I enjoyed playing it. I just never bought it. So I only played the demo. It was like only one level, I think. Oh, Metroid Prime Hunters. Yes, you're right. That's what it was. I didn't realize that that was a spin-off. I didn't realize that wasn't like a main series Metroid game. But it's the only one I've played. It's the only Metroid game I've played. They really wanted to place the region in an Islamic country. They would make it Albania or Bosnia. I mean, those places have their own unique problems that make me not sure that they would want to go there any more than any other any more than they would want to go to any other Islamic country. That's like saying you had a demo of Hyrule Warriors or something. Okay, well, I mean, Hyrule Warriors is a good game. I enjoyed Hyrule Warriors. All right, let me figure out the colors here. I'm gonna grab a palette from the original. I will probably adjust some of these colors though. Oh, don't I love it when Photoshop, when my computer does this. I don't know if it's Photoshop, but God damn it. I'm gonna have to restart Photoshop. I don't know what it is, like this computer has actually given me a lot of problems. Which sucks, but okay. So these are the like main colors of Hawlucha. Those three. You can barely see the white, but that's fine. That's good. But then we have the orange, the two yellows, and I guess the black. So I do think that it has to maintain the like mostly red and green, well, mostly red, green, and white color. I'm playing X and Y, as you may know. I finally got a Noibat a while ago, so I'm going back to battle all the Sky Trainers I had to skip. I just lost to one, and after I blacked out, my fainted Pokemon still evolved after the battle. I think I did have that happen at one point. It is weird, though. Okay, let's see. I'm thinking this kind of area is, you know, just gonna mostly keep the colors that the original has, and I'm just gonna fill this in really roughly just as a reference. What's going to be challenging is going to be the colors of the face, I think, but... Oh yeah, were there any details that you guys wanted me to try that I may have missed from the chat? There was the beak shape potentially. Prima Diva. What was the idea that you had given? Oh, a lower beak. Right. What did you mean, or like how exactly did you want me to try that? Oh, the one thing I didn't get from the palette is the color for the inside of the mouth. Come on, fill it in. There you go. Yeah, so I think the colors of the mask need to be different, because it doesn't, as it is, it doesn't like really match with the rest, and it doesn't, it just looks way more like a bird than like a mask, and it is supposed to look like both as much as possible, and probably giving it Mexican flag colors is going to help, but not that big of an issue, but it makes me laugh. Oh, 8th generation region based on Great Britain, but Scottish independence happened. Not that big of an issue, but it makes me laugh about it. Well, Scotland isn't entirely part of Galar, is it? Like, Crown Tundra is supposed to be more Scotland proper, so. Last time I played X and Y, I didn't have a flying Pokemon. My Pokemon for fly was a fletchling that I kept in the PC. Yeah, if you don't have any sky Pokemon, that you're SOL, as they say. Yeah, so like in terms of making it more Mexican flag colors, it makes sense to me to make the part that is orange red. But then we have a conflict with the chest. Although I guess I could make the bottom part white. Is that enough? Sky battles were a great idea. I wish they'd explored that further. Me too. So lower beak and head feathers. So what would a lower beak look like? Like, do you just mean like having this part here? Just kind of closing up off that beak? Or do you mean more like not having that mouth? Or both, I guess. Does make it, like, removing the mouth does make it look a lot more like a bird. I imagine a more polished version of Sky Battles that allows use of Pokemon that are airborne by concept but don't necessarily have Levitate or the Flying type. Right. It's kind of short, and not only that, but since encounters with wild Pokemon are not mandatory either, it affects the length of the game too. In Sword and Shield? I do like that. Maybe make the beak bigger. I actually think the proportions of the beak are quite good as it is. Maybe though, maybe I will put this in, and I'll also put in, oh, wrong layer. No, that probably won't work. Just that. Not bad. Asking for a friend who is making an Argentina region. Should I make a regional evolution for Psyduck, who is a nightclub bouncer duck, or should I make a new Pokemon despite already having a different duck? Hey, bouncer? Okay, tell me what the connection is for the bouncer. I'm just thinking maybe I actually want to emphasize that mask look again after all. Just because it's now like lost some of that birdness, or sorry, lost some of that humanness. I'm really happy with this. Like, I'm really happy with the way this is going. I think I'd be happy to end it here. Like, refine it, obviously, but like not make any further changes to the design. This is such an improvement. It looks like it has massive bags under its eyes. Which is fine, because the Caracara does have those. I can show you again. Caracara, it has that, definitely. So that part is totally fine. Looks much more Mexican. So we have a slang word, which itself is kind of a Pokemon name, Patovica, bouncers. There was a company in the 50s which made food for ducks named Patos Vica. They said their food made duck grow stronger, and Patovica became a joking way to refer to bodybuilders. Okay. And then bouncers. Okay. Didn't expect to like it this much. Maybe have the underbeak red be a different shape. I guess I see what you mean with it looking like a mouth. I don't think that, like, when I shade this, I'll just do a really quick shade just to show. Yeah, like, I don't think when I shade this that it's going to look like a mouth anymore. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't even know how Hawlucha's beak is shaded. Oh, I see. Okay. Kind of important. There it is. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, just like, I don't think that this is going to look too much like a mouth. I like the shape of Hawlucha's head, the way it is, at the bottom, where like the bottom is like a flat, like it has corners on it. I like that. And so, like, maybe that line at the bottom would be a little bit more straight. Maybe that's all it is. Yeah, maybe. Better with the straight line, okay. Can you add the orange back in so it's not only two colors? Yeah, I was thinking about that, and like, I don't know where I would add the orange. Like maybe on the stripe around the eye? Like, I do want it to stay mostly two colors because that, like, it's supposed to, it has to be as much as possible, like, Mexican flag, right? But, yeah, maybe just that little orange there helps to break it up. Looks like Hawlucha is wearing whatever Naked Sting was wearing in the awful 1984 Dune movie. Well, thankfully, I have not seen that, so that's not something I can I can fix unless you tell me. Or, well, I don't, like, to me that's not necessarily a bad association because I don't know what that looks like. I guess I could make, like, the lower part green and then make the underside of the tail red. Let's see how that looks. Oops. Just give it a little bit more variety, maybe? What do you think? I kind of like that. And then it does make it, you know, red, white, and green, like, right on the chest. Really, like, kind of in your face almost. Would it be too obvious if I made the belt thicker, so, like, moved the top of the belt a little bit farther up the chest, and then put, like, a yellow, you know, something there in the middle of the belt? That would make it more like the Mexican flag, having the eagle in the middle. Martin, hello. I just joined. I had a work thing, but I'm loving this so far. In other words, it looks like it has a Batman boomerang covering his crotch. Sure. I like the red on the tail, given the most common and well-known hawk in North America's red-tailed hawk. That is a good point. Although we're basing it on a South American and Central American bird of prey that is called the caracara. It's, you know, white and black with orange, but we're keeping the red and green and white main colors because that's the colors of the Mexican flag. But, like, just visually, I do think that it looks nicer with the red at the bottom and having the red, white, green right there. I like this a lot. I love caracaras. See it in the head. Yeah, the head is definitely, like, major caracara influence. Okay, I'm happy with this. I won't do the flag on the belt. That might be too much. But, yeah. Unless, Sharon, you have a better idea of how to change the feather so that it looks less like the horrible Dune movie. In your words, just because I haven't seen that movie. Is the blue beak tip an option? Like more of a gray or bluish gray tip. I can try that, but it's I think the problem is I think it might be too conflicting with the other colors, or just like, yeah, just not quite work with the other colors. Yeah, like it looks fine, but I do think I prefer it with yellow. It's good that it looks like Batman because Michael Keaton is Birdman in a movie directed by a Mexican filmmaker. Perfect. There you go. Still feel the need to point out the potential beak issue. What is the potential beak issue? In the meantime, I'm going to make sure I have my layers more or less named, because the layers right now are a mess. Maybe it needs a lower part of the beak as the bottom being bulged downward. It looks fine right now, but I think it only does so because of the perspective. It'd be weird on a model. As in the bottom being bulged downward. I'm not entirely sure what you mean. Because, like, if we look at Hawlucha, like, the whole bottom is flat, right? I actually hadn't noticed until literally right now that Hawlucha has like the top actually has a bit of a point on the beak. Maybe I'll give it that here too. Right now the beak looks like the bottom would peel down when it opens rather than opening like a bird's beak. Yeah, well, the way I envision it is that the line that goes along the side, this line down to roughly here, that is the beak, or like that's where it opens. But I guess if it helps, instead of this one being straight, this one could be angled downward. Like, is this what you mean? And then I'll stretch out the beak just a tiny bit so that I can put that tip at the very end. Does that solve the problem you have, Sharon? And like, yeah, I like the flatness of the bottom beak, so. But maybe that works. I think the bottom line, I think I do want it to be straight because I like the flatness of the bottom there. I don't want it to be just a regular bird head. It has to have some personality to it. And to me, that flatness of the bottom, of like the chin, I guess, is part of it for Hawlucha. So, but the rest of it works like this, I think. As a bird nerd, the extra point is very in keeping with caracaras as they're in the falcon family and hunt more with the beak than with the talons. I don't know if they hunt more with the beak than with the talons. Like, obviously the beak is important for like tearing flesh apart, but I have seen like an actual caracara in the wild swoop in and grab a fish off the river and then you know, take it to the riverbank and tear into it. But it did it with its claws and tore into it with its beak. So, Ethan, hello. Yeah, I think this is done. I just need to like do the finished version. I'm happy with the design. I think everyone else is happy with the design too. I think, unless there's more little details that we need to go over. I can see it open the beak and not look like it's an alien. All right. All right, let's get this thing outlined. The other bottom line slightly curved. I don't think so. I don't think so. I like that flat. I like the flatness there. Ethan, you were at Brett's event. They got a flipping 450 viewers at one point. Oh, that's awesome. Let's get this stream to 450 viewers, like Sharon says. Yeah. Everyone hit like, which is actually really helpful, by the way. If you hit like early on in the stream especially, helps get more people, helps the stream get shown to more people. But they also blind their prey and leave them to die so they can eat them later. Aren't birds nice? Birds are wonderful. Whew, this curve is going to be difficult. Hawlucha was the heel wrestler all along. Do I have a discount code for some obscure energy drink yet? No, I'm not quite that big yet. I probably need a few more digits before I get offered that kind of deal. EV family when? On the new 151. So that'll be a little while still. Because the EV family is so late into the Pokedex, right? So. Hello, Green Skullx. Welcome. We're all, like the designing part is almost done, but I'm gonna be here a little while longer still. Just doing the final drawing, and probably struggling with a lot of these curves, big long lines. Ah, so close. Good enough. Pansage, Pansy, or Panpour redesign when? If, you know, after Type Null and Sylvali next week, it's a free-for-all. I haven't gone back and like actually tallied up all the suggestions from the previous redesign video, but yeah, at some point next month, you know, after the Type Null one is posted, I'll be looking for suggestions. So that's definitely a possibility. Although I'm not sure what I would do with those guys. What if you fuse them to create a monkey that doesn't speak, hear, or see? I think part of the problem is that they just like they have good ideas, like the concepts behind them are actually pretty solid, but the execution isn't. But I think part of the problem is, or the problem with the execution is that they're monkeys. I'm not sure I could make a monkey Pokemon that has those, like, that has the same kinds of features and inspirations that looks good. Erase them from existence. Free for all. That sounds to me like when you pretty much finish the lessons of the year and the teacher don't want to wait for anything new. I still think you could take a crack at redesigning Togetic to make it a smoother transition between Togepi and Togekiss as it exists. Will I dare redesigning Arceus? Okay, about Togetic, like I could, and I think you posted that suggestion in the video, so it's definitely like on the list of suggestions, but I like Togetic a lot, and I really don't like Togekiss. So like, yeah, sure, I could do a redesign that accomplishes that, but I can't imagine it being a redesign that I would like, is mostly the problem. Everyone in this stream is probably going to hate me, but I love the elemental monkeys. Oh, Kyle. Okay, tell us what you like about them. Are you saying you don't like my favorite elemental monkeys? Of course you like them, Mark. You like all the shitty Pokemon. You're not gonna dare redesigning our god Arceus. Well, I could. I would definitely be down for it. I do think Arceus has a pretty awkward looking design. I'd have to do more research though into like what elements it pulls from, like what its design is based on, in order to really be able to do something with it, because I don't know what that is. Like obviously it looks kind of like a deer, but that's not enough by itself. To be fair, you need a really high IQ to like the elemental monkeys. It's exactly the same thing you just said earlier today about being able to understand your videos. I feel that their concepts are amazing. 3 monkeys who used to follow rules of speak no evil, hear no evil, and see no evil, but when they get older, they totally reverse and become the opposite. That's what I'm talking about. Like, their concepts are really good. But then, like, they just, all of them just look really, like, just off-putting. I do like their concepts. I think it was Ron, I think it was True Green 7 who first made a video about their concepts that, you know, made me realize what they were going for. And like since then, I've been like, oh, you know, I actually kind of like them in concept. But their execution, their actual look is just really not good in my opinion. Cool. Gone pretty well. Prima Diva's idea is good. Oh, what was Prima Diva's idea? Would you ever consider doing a redesign of some Betamons in more modern styles, like if they were actually remade nowadays? That would be an interesting one. I don't know if I would do redesigns of Betamons, but like, I might have some fun doing more interpretations of Pokemon, of beta Pokemon, because a lot of the Pokemon that were revealed in that Pokemon Green beta, the beginning of last year, I think it was. Like, most of those, you only had the back sprite. Which was the same with Gorochu, but like, and that's what I did, right? I interpreted Gorochu. So I guess I could do the same thing with others. That might be fun. I probably wouldn't call it a redesign. Have I done any Let's Play streams recently? I have not, but probably starting this Wednesday I will. I'm hoping to start playing through Gale of Darkness this week. I think I got everything. Make sure we're saving. Ditto is just begging for a redesign. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be an interesting one on the new 51. Like, because like Ditto just kind of is what it's meant to be. So like, what is there to really add to it? Oh, where's my palette? Bring that back up. No, Photoshop, come on. Alright, I gotta restart Photoshop again. Have I considered doing an Animal Crossing stream? I'd love to see your island. I know that doesn't have to be live, but it might be fun if anyone else here has New Horizons. I haven't done an Animal Crossing stream, but Indigo has on my channel on Twitch. So like, if I did a if I did an Animal Crossing stream, that would be on Twitch, for one. But yeah, I don't know. I just I'm kind of done with Animal Crossing now. So like, if someone else is streaming Animal Crossing, I'd be happy to you know, jump in and show off my island. But I have some things that I'm really happy with my island, but like, I haven't done like a super fancy anything. Well, I have some specific parts of my island that are pretty fancy, but like overall, my island is kind of boring. So yeah, I don't know if it would be that special, that interesting. You see me popping up online all the time. Yeah, I see you online too. Gotta go to bed and I'll have a good one. Alright, Prima Diva, thank you. And thanks for being here. Thank you for helping out with the design. Have a good night. Ditto as a cell might be a good idea. As a stem cell, potentially. Maybe. Ditto as flubber. Hello, Charlie's Channel of Horror. I love Hawlucha's colors, especially now with your redesign of it. Gives off the tropical bird wrestler vibe. Yeah, the design, well, the colors are just, they're basically from the Mexican flag. The design of the face in particular is pulled from this South American and Central American bird called caracara. All right, that looks pretty good. Just gotta shade it. I think. I'm just gonna double check that I got all the white spots. I did, okay. Count me in if Indigo does another New Horizons stream. I'm not sure when or if she wants to do one, but you can always just come over to my island. Or invite me to yours. Just at me on Discord and we'll work it out. When I see Hawlucha, I can only think of one thing: Mexico. Well, that is what you're supposed to think of, I think. So that doesn't seem like a bad thing. All right, let's do some shading. think that's all the shading I need to do, or all the shadows at least I need to do on red. Let's get the greens done.
Got a little Swedish there. Yeah.
I'm just so happy that yours has wings, immediate step up. Yeah, that was the very first thing that I did, and it was like the one thing that I knew I had to do. It has to have proper wings. That was that's like where I started. So, or OG Hawlucha's wings are just too weird. Well, if there's one thing that hasn't changed about me, it's that I'm eating cereal at night. Cereal for dinner, dasp. Classic dasp. I'm glad to see that you're sticking to your roots. what do I want to do next? Let's do the legs. Let's see. To the beak. Half I ate cereal for dinner too. Hey! Whoa. Half I ate cereal for dinner too. Hey! My do not disturb ended automatically because I had set it to end after 3 hours, I think. I thought 3 hours I would be done. And I'm close, but not quite. So the stream that I have playing, obviously, so that I can keep up with the chat, just suddenly started having audio again. Alright, I think I got everything. I just need to do highlights now. I think the claws are the only thing I have left to shade, and just a tiny little bit of highlight. I think that's it. Is there anything that I need to adjust? Anything that needs some work? Is this Sugimori art style? Yes, it's about as close as I know how to make it. There's like there's some elements to the Sugimori art style that I don't really know how to replicate. I guess I should make the whites darker. Yeah, I need to make the shading on the whites darker. But yeah. I guess I don't really know how to point out the Sugimori art style. Line colors. No, it doesn't usually have line colors unless there's a specific reason to de-emphasize a line. Like Reuniclus, for example, is entirely outlined in green instead of in black, because it's supposed to be transparent, right? So they want to reduce that the emphasis on that line. For Hawlucha, I don't think there's anywhere that needs to do that. I guess I can darken some of the greens even further, but yeah. Yeah. Do I need to darken anything else more? I can also just do a adjustment layer. Okay, not quite that strong. Yeah. I love the design. The legs look a bit off model though. You mean like they don't look natural? They are supposed to be in like different positions, right? The leg on our right is meant to be positioned farther back. I think the beak is such an improvement, and it was almost missed, which is funny. Yeah, it's true. I still maintain that the wings are the biggest improvement, but yeah, I'm really happy with everything. So, just to finish off here, let me tell you when the redesign for Titanal and Silvally will happen. So that'll be in June, on the 27th of June. And that's it. I don't think I have anything else that I need to plug, because the rest I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna record a separate outro like I've been doing. So yeah, so just thank you guys for hanging out with me and for helping me improve Hawlucha significantly, I think. And I say that as someone who likes Hawlucha, so this is looking like my best one. Aw, thank you, Mark. I don't know about that. I really like a few others. I still think that my best one is probably... his name is escaping me. Well, that's embarrassing. Wow, the Grim Reaper one. The name is just not coming to me. Dusclops. I got it, and I got it before anyone said it. I mean, you might have said it, you know, but yeah, now it's there. But I remembered first. I remembered before I showed up here, so. No, not, yeah, Dusclops. So, Dusclops I think is probably my favorite. I don't know if it's my best, but it's definitely my favorite. Hawlucha now is definitely going to be up there. Yeah. Oh, and the Unknown. The Unknown are so good. The Unknown are my favorite concept. The individual executions, like, maybe could use some work, but the Unknown definitely my favorite concept. So, again, just thank you guys for hanging out with me and for helping me make Hawlucha what it is, what it could be all along. Escape Unknown, yeah. There's that's like my one piece of merch. Well, that and the like channel logo. Yeah, Escape the Unknown. Yeah, so the like edited version of this is gonna be up really quick, since I'm doing videos every since I'm doing videos twice a week now, right? The edited version of this will be out on Monday. So, for anyone that missed part of it, you get to see the summary anyway, pretty soon. So, I will see you on June 27th. Yes, June 27th for the redesign of Titanal and Silvally. But obviously, there's going to be a lot of streams before that. There's going to be a new and 51 stream on June 13th. There's probably going to be one or two pixel art streams in June as well, taking the commissions, the requests from my patrons. And here's another reminder: if you want to become a patron, now is the best time, because you will get you get to commission one piece of pixel art, Pokemon style pixel art. As long as you join Patreon by tomorrow. So you only have until tomorrow to do it, and you get to commission one piece of pixel art on top of the usual patron perks. And yeah. So there's going to be probably a couple of streams doing those commissions. And I'm probably also going to start doing my Gale of Darkness playthrough. Although that might be interrupted if the DLC does come out this month like it's supposed to. I'm probably going to do, you know, a continuation of my blind playthrough, but with with the DLC. I'm probably not going to turn those into Let's Play episodes, though, so that'll be just live. So just keep an eye out if you want to join me for these live streams. Just keep an eye out. There's going to be a lot of them in June. And hopefully I'll have time to do all the other videos on top of that. DLC delayed? You think it was, like, has it been, has there been a confirmation in the time that I've been streaming? I haven't seen it. But anyway, whenever the DLC comes out, I will be streaming my playthrough of that as well. So, yeah, all right. So that's it. I'm Umbreon Libris, and I'll see you in the next chapter. Bye.